that trailed slave ships at sea. Seeds of freedom planted in me. Bird that trailed slave ships at sea. Seeds of freedom planted in me. Bird that survived genocide, disguised auction blocks and blood-soaked chains won't tame the hurricane in my.
Hey, what's happening?
The niggers won't leave the classroom. Who knows why niggers do what they do?
Trying to start one of them sit-ins, I bet. Oh, for heaven's sakes. You guys are just going to stand there and let them take it over. Listen, there's enough of you here to run them out of there. Oh, I don't.
What do you say we go in there?
I say it's none of our business.
Yes, for sure. Scared of a bunch of niggers, fatso?
I don't like that word.
You mean fatso?
You know the word I mean.
I don't like that word either.
You like those niggers.
You say that again and I'll slap your face.
You're always eating lunch with them and talking to them.
I say we go in there and run them out.
You want to start a riot?
They're the ones that started to come in here and try and take over our school.
It's just as much theirs as it is ours.
They're trying to make it theirs. They're trying to take it away from us.
Oh, for heaven's sake,
Like my father says, the niggers and the communists are working together.
Come on, let's go in there.
Yeah. Well, come on, let's go.
Miss Marsh.
Kindly wait outside, please.
Miss Marsh, what are all these people doing here? They're not most of them in this class.
Please, I have asked you to wait outside. Now wait outside until I call you in.
Miss Marsh, just give us the words and we'll take care of this. We know how to get rid of these niggers.
We know how to get rid of your mama, hunky. Let them come on in here, fool. Come on in here and get some of this black death, hunky.
The niggers and the communists ain't taking over our school.
No, sit down. And the rest of you, sit down.
Don't talk to these people. Just let them run their mouths off.
I want all of you to go down to the assembly hall and sit there quietly. Ruthie, please, you take the attendance. Please, come on out of here. We don't want any trouble, please.
They're the troublemakers.
Oh, I ain't going for this.
We'll get this one. Sit tight for a few minutes, all right?
Okay, all that peaceful stuff ain't here.
Do you see what you're doing? I am surprised at some of you. We bent over backwards for you people.
We have tried everything else.
Maybelle, these things take time. Mr. Wade is studying the matter. He's not just standing still.
We formed a committee and met with Mr. Maid at the beginning of the semester.
But these...
Nothing has happened.
Right. These things take time.
We submitted our proposal a half a year ago.
Well, you can't expect Mr. Wade to immediately implement these things. Look, they have to be studied. They have to be looked at from many different points of view.
How long should it take, Miss Marsh?
As long as it's necessary.
Well, how long is that?
Will you stop asking me how long things take? I should think that any intelligent and rational person could understand that. I take it you are rational human beings.
We ain't rational, Miss Mars. We niggers. Remember niggers.
That was completely uncalled for. Now, look here. Look here, I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. I want each of you who is not a member of this class to get up out of those chairs and walk out of this room.
We are not leaving this classroom until we get what we asked for.
Right. Now.
Please, Maybelle, please don't make me have to carry this thing to Mr. Waite. I don't want to see any of you get into trouble.
Hey, lady, we've been in trouble all our life. Dig?
Maybelle, you're one of the nicest girls in the school. Your parents send you to school as well-dressed and as clean as any student, black or white. You don't want to let them down, do you?
I don't consider this letting them down.
Mabel, you've always been a very well thought of young lady by both the faculty and student body. Now, you don't want them to start thinking of you as a troublemaker, do you? Please, now, please help me out. Pick up your books and walk out that door. I'm sure that the students who really want to see some changes made will follow you out. And those of you who just want to stir up trouble, well, we know who you are.
I'm afraid we cannot do that, Miss Marsh.
You'd be doing your school and your fellow students a great service.
Miss Marsh, I'm the one that suggested this sit-in in the classroom in the first place.
Well, then you...
Yep.
Well, then you're the leader.
Spokesman. We don't have a leader. I was voted spokesman.
Right on. Everybody.
Oh, Maybelle. I'm very disappointed in you. I'll have to take you to Mr. Waite's office.
Well, dear, we going to.
The rest of you will stay here until you are sent for.
Suppose there's somebody in the hall waiting for her.
Mojo, I'm not afraid. If they get one person, that doesn't mean a thing. We're in this together. That's what counts.
I am waiting for you, Miss Rose.
Remember what we said. No talking, no clowning around.
Okay. Hey, run it down, the old man wait.
Did any of them threaten you?
Oh, no.
Did they say what they intended to do? Mention any plan for disrupting the school?
No, they didn't.
Now, this could turn into a lot of unpleasantness. I don't want any confrontations here. Bunch of people shouting and screaming, black militants, policemen, newspapers, television cameras. How did they happen to take your room to choose this demonstration in?
I don't know why they chose my room. I've always treated them very well. I have never made any distinctions between my black students and...
Come now, Miss Marsh. There must be some reason why they singled you out.
I never even bring up the subject. Except, of course, during Negro History Week.
How'd you approach that subject?
Well, I've been using the same lesson plan that we've been using for 15 years.
Yes, but I sent you a memo suggesting you update Negro History Week.
I did. I introduced new material. But you told me that you wanted me to delete anything of a militant nature.
Maybe you went too far.
Are you blaming me for this?
No one's blaming you, Miss Marsh.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, I remember some of the statements you made when we admitted black students into the school.
Well, yes. I felt at the time that the school would suffer if it got itself involved in integration. But that was purely from an educational point of view. It had nothing to do with color as such. When I walk into that classroom, I do not see color.
Oh, my dear Miss Marsh, everyone sees color. I'm not blaming you, as I said before. I just got to find some method of handling these things. I got to make sure my flanks are protected. When I go before the school board, I want to have all the facts. I don't want them any springing anything on me. Now, if you said or done anything, I want to know about it. I'll ask you once again. Have you said or done anything?
Mr. Waite, what the students are sitting in about is the fact that their demands have not been met.
Demands? I'm getting a little tired of their demands.
But you promised to consider their demands.
I don't have to consider the demands of a bunch of people who aren't ready to make any kind of demands.
I thought they were very well stated.
Well stated.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Waite, I have to say that.
Well, you sound like you're on their side.
I am not on their side at all. But perhaps if we gave them some of the things that they've asked for, we can avoid all of this unpleasantness.
They are not going to run this school.
You never had any intention of considering their proposals.
I gave them what I thought they deserved.
What?
We updated Negro History Week. I hired a black teacher.
Oh, but they don't seem to like Mr. Madison. One of the points was, well, the main point, really, was that they wanted to be consulted in the hiring of the black teachers.
Well, I do the hiring and firing in my school. When I need the assistance of a bunch of students, well, I'll know it's time to retire.
I'd like to go on record as saying that I think it's wrong for you to promise them that you're going to consider their proposals when you never had any intention of doing so.
Things are never right or wrong, my dear Miss Marsh. Things are either quiet or in turmoil. Turmoil creates tension. I don't like tension. Send in Maybelle, please. I'd like to talk to her alone.
Oh, I'd like to stay if you don't mind.
All right. But I want to conduct this meeting in my own way. I've had a great deal of experience handling these people. Come in, Maybelle. Have a seat.
Thank you, Mr. White.
I understand you're going to take over and run the school.
No, we don't want to take over the school.
Oh, you must. Miss Marsh tells me that you and some of your black students are in her classroom.
Yes, we are.
Who put you up to this?
Pardon?
Well, you kids couldn't have thought of this by yourselves. Some rabble-rousing organization must be behind it. Isn't that true, Maybelle?
No, that's not true.
Well, what do you expect to gain by all this?
Some of the things we were promised at the beginning of the school year.
I think I've kept my promise. Mr. Madison was hired.
We asked for a black guidance counselor, and we didn't get one. We asked that when black students had gotten into trouble in a class, they not be taken out of that class and put in study hall or gym. We've got 17 black students who can't graduate because they don't have enough credits.
The students you're speaking of were discipline problems.
I talked to 3 of them. They're very upset because they can't go to college. If we had had a black guidance counselor, this wouldn't have happened.
Now, you'd better make up your mind to what you want. Do you want an education, or do you want to be a rabble-rouser?
I don't consider myself a rabble-rouser.
Now, listen, Maybelle. You want to graduate, don't you? Sure. You want to go to college, be a teacher, a nurse?
Yes, I plan to go to college.
Getting into college isn't as easy as when we were going. Colleges are overcrowded. Miss Marsh, did you know that over 77% of the people who wanted to go to college last year couldn't get in?
No, I didn't know that.
Colleges are very selective. They go over your record with a fine-tooth comb today. Well, I don't blame them. I don't suppose you can blame them. Riots on campus, drugs, protests. They want to look a student up and down. They want the type of student who wants an education, not a protester or a dope fiend. Oh, you're not on drugs, are you, Maybelle?
Oh, Mr. Waite, really, that...
Miss Marsh! Now, I'm sure Maybelle doesn't mind answering that question.
I won't dignify it with an answer. What I want to talk about with you are the 17 black students who cannot graduate.
There may be more than 17 students who cannot graduate. Miss Marsh, how many of those sitting in are seniors?
Most of them are seniors.
If they want to graduate, I would strongly suggest that they get out of that classroom right away. Do you understand that, Maybelle?
And our Black Studies program?
This is a high school, not a political arena.
We will not stir from that classroom until we come to some agreement about the Black Studies program. And until we find out something about those black students who can't graduate.
Now, I'm not going to buckle under with threats. Now, if you have some grievances, you form a committee of no more than 5 students and present them to me in the proper fashion.
We tried that once. Now we're taking direct action.
And suppose I don't comply with your demands?
We sit.
For how long?
Until we get what we want.
And what are you going to do after school closes?
We will not budge until we get
what you want.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
Miss Marsh, would you please take this list of telephone numbers of the kids who are sitting in the classroom, call their parents, and tell them what's going on here?
Oh, Maybelle, I don't know if it's proper for me to do that.
Please, Miss Marsh.
Well, all right, but I'll just think about it.
I've just talked to the heating engineer. He's turning off the heat in the school. By the time school closes, this place will be like an icebox. I've also given instructions not to let anybody out after the last bell. The lights, of course, will be turned off. That means you and your friends cannot change your mind. Now, you better go in and tell them that.
We'll endure, Mr. Waite.
Now, I'm not going to let anyone take over this school. I'm going to break this thing. You want to be smart? I'm going to be smart.
Hello, Maybelle.
Hi, Jonah.
How are you?
I'm okay. What are you doing here?
What'd you expect?
The police.
Well, I'm the police.
You were my brother before you were the police.
They called the house. I told Dad that I would come.
What did they tell you?
Well, now that you were the ringleader of a sit-in protest.
There's no leader. We're all in this together.
They say you are.
Oh, they're just trying to find somebody to put the pressure on.
Do you think you could stand it?
For a while. And if I can't stand it, then Mojo will take over. And when it gets too much for him, somebody else will take over.
Keep them off balance, huh? Now, that's pretty clever of you kids. Pretty clever. But also very dangerous. They could panic. It's too abstract.
It's the best thing we got going for us. Did you come to put the pressure on me?
And if I did?
I couldn't take it from you. Mojo would have to take over the spokesmanship. I just couldn't take it.
Waite says he's going to close the school down. Keep you kids locked in here all night.
Yeah, we anticipated that. We've got plenty of food, though. We've got clothes. We've got towels and candles.
How long do you think you can hold out?
As long as we have to. But did you come to put the pressure on me?
So you think you can take the cold in the dark, hmm?
We've got to do the best we can.
Okay, so if you can withstand being locked in here, Waite's next step will be to call the police.
We're aware of that.
What will you do if the police ask you to leave?
Not leave.
If they should try to force you to.
Meet force with force.
Force with force.
Meet physical force with soul force, and we'll endure.
Now, do you think your heads are harder than their billy clubs?
No, but we've got to do what's necessary.
You know, I think you kids are really getting into something that you won't be able to handle.
We've got to try.
Look, Maybelle, I know you kids are probably justified in what you're trying to do. That's one thing. But, honey, bucking the police is another. You try and buck the police and somebody's gonna get hurt.
We hope it doesn't come to that. But if we've got to buck the police, the lackeys will buck them.
Lackeys?
I don't mean you.
How about you mean the police? I'm a policeman.
You're my brother.
That's right, your older brother. So you listen to me, because I'm not going to tell you anything that's wrong. Make your point. But when things start to get rough, you...
Turn tail when the lackeys come.
Listen, will you stop using that word? I don't like it.
Well, I don't like using it. You're not supposed to be here. You're just confusing me. Everything is just going up and down. I told myself I could prepare myself for the lackeys. That's all they are, lackeys. I can take any pressure from them.
Look, I'm only trying to help.
The best thing you can do to help me is to leave.
All right. You promise to call me if the police come.
For what? So you can tell them I'm your baby sister? Don't hit me on the head? I've got to take my chances with the rest of the kids.
Kids? Just a bunch of kids, that's all. Maybelle, how old are you, huh? 17. Well, I remember when you were just a baby. So now you're 17.
I'm old enough to be married and have children.
Yeah?
I'm old enough to take responsibility.
Are you really?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
You still look like a baby to me.
You grow up fast when you're black. You've got to survive. I've got to go.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
For what?
For not putting the pressure on me. For letting me do what I've got to do.
Okay, little sister. Mr. Wade?
Well, I hope you were able to convince her.
How would you define the word lackey?
Well, one who fetches and carries for another.
Well, now I guess that's just about as good of explanation as any. Goodbye, Mr. Waite.
Mr. Rhodes. Mr.
Maybelle.
Go on, I'll catch up with you later. Good morning, Miss Marsh.
Good morning, Maybelle.
Were you able to make those telephone calls?
Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't. Mr. Wade took the list away from me.
Took it away from you? You mean you let him take it?
I didn't let him, Maybelle. He just snatched it out of my hands, and I'm sorry he tore it up. Maybelle, I want you to know that I, for one, think that Mr. Wade did not show good faith with the black students.
Did you really expect he would?
Well, he doesn't seem to understand what's hit him.
Do you, Miss Marsh?
What do you mean?
We're not going to stand for any more. We're mild. We're going to be graduating soon. But there are kids coming behind us who aren't going to take half the things we took.
Well, I, for one, hope they won't have to.
They won't. Not if we do our job.
Maybelle, why did you pick my room? Do you think that I'm a prejudiced person?
No one's labeled you anything.
Well, then why did you single me out?
Because you're a history teacher, and our history is not being taught.
Well, I've always tried to be tolerant.
Tolerant? You don't have to tolerate me, Miss Marsh.
Oh, dear, all I meant was that I'm not a prejudiced person.
That's beside the point.
Maybelle, I have always tried to go to bat for you people whenever I could.
You can be prejudiced as you want. You can go to bat for us if you want, Miss Marsh.
What's she want?
Well, I guess you got what you wanted. You hear all that out there? Are you satisfied now? You finally succeeded in making the white man mad.
Nobody care about that. Now, who care about white people being mad? I've been mad all my life, man.
What are you trying to prove? You think you can take over the school and wreck it? You think they'll allow you to wreck the school? All you've succeeded in doing is alienating a group of white people.
Oh, man, what do we care about?
The people of this community are not going to allow you to take over their school. Now look out that window. Take a good long look and see what you have brought.
Brought? Man, we ain't brought nothing. Brought.
I've made arrangements with some of the people for you to walk out of here peacefully.
We should walk out of this school because they don't like what we're doing.
Look, it took a lot to get you in here.
It's not their school. It belongs to us just as much.
Right. They are the taxpayers that are paying for this.
Our parents pay taxes, too.
Right.
I'm sure they do.
No, he think we all on ADC.
Look, young man, I've had all I want out of you.
I goes down.
Please. We decided we were going to have dignity.
Why we always got to be dignified? Look out the window. Look at them running around with them signs. And is that dignity?
We don't have to act like them.
Coming in here talking about you gonna let somebody out peaceably. Like we scared of you. We ain't scared of no hunkies, man. No, you know that?
All right. All right, I want everyone here out of this room right now. I'm expelling every one of you. Get out. Maybelle, perhaps you have some sanity left. I'm going to inform the policeman out here to remove everyone from this room. You realize, of course, you're trespassing on property that isn't yours?
What about them? They're trespassing on property, too.
We're discussing you.
We're not leaving.
No. Get out.
All right. You can take the consequences then. And whatever happens, you brought upon yourselves. I'm going to tell the police to remove every single one of you by force if necessary. Get on. Come to my room.
Oh, get on out.
Alone.
You had your chance.
Oh, please, Mr. Wade, just a moment.
Miss Marsh.
All right, we'll talk.
All right. I'll wait for you in my office.
All right. What is it, Maybelle?
You got the heart to stay.
Stay? What for?
When the policemen come, I'd like to have a witness there.
You don't honestly think I could stop them?
Miss Marsh, you're a history teacher, and history is being made. I want you to stay and see the young black kids in that room make their own history.
Maybelle, there's absolutely nothing I could do to restrain the police.
We're not asking you to take any licks for us. We don't ask that sort of thing.
I do not agree with any of this. Neither with Mr. Waite nor with you.
All right, Miss Marsh.
Maybelle.
At sea, seeds of freedom planted in me. Birds that trailed slave ships at sea, seeds of freedom planted in me. Birds that survived genocide, disguised auction blocks and blood-soaked chains won't tame the hurricane in my veins. Fly me through the wildest weather, midnight bird of the blue soul, bird of my soul, bold and so strong. Midnight bird of the blue soul, bird of my soul, so bold and so strong. Birds by genocide, disguised auction blocks and